Up between the Louisville Cardinals and the Blue Demons of Depaul University. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Rosemont Horizon. I'm Joel Meyers alongside the coach Al McGuire, and joining us today is our sideline reporter David Dupree of USA Today. Coach, the Blue Demons come in with a record of 10-9. They have had a killer schedule so far this year, and today's game a very critical one for them if they have aspirations of making the NCAA tourney.
I don't think they can make the NCAA. I think they can make the NIT. For them to win today, they got a composite of 40 points out of Stephen Howard and David Booth. They must be able to score on that end.
The Louisville Cardinals start the day as the fourth-ranked team in the nation. They have a record of 14-2. And the big story out of Louisville and Freedom Hall this year, the rapid rise of center Felton Spencer.
You know, I've been covering him for 4 years now. 4 years ago, I wouldn't say he could make an AAU team after he graduates. Now, Felton Spencer's going to go high in the lottery in the NBA next June. They got to kick the ball down low to him. Depaul will use 15 personal fouls on him.
Be right back with the starting lineup from the Rosemont Horizon as we get ready for Louisville and Depaul. It's the man in the middle. Right now, most people feel he's a lottery pick in the next NBA draft. Felton Spencer, the senior, Louisville. And to the backcourt, Keith Williams, the southpaw. And the man who can do it all, LeBradford Smith for the Cardinals, the junior from Bay City, Texas. And Denny Crum in his 19th year as the head coach of the Cardinals, the winningest coach in Louisville history. The starting five now, the Blue Demons of Depaul, David Booth and Kevin Holland on the front court. Young man from Southern California, then Stephen Howard, the big center from Dallas, Texas. What a job he's got today. Melvon Foster and Terry Davis, the brilliant freshman from College Park, Georgia. Starting in the backcourt. What a year it's been for Joey Meyer with that difficult schedule. His sixth season after taking over from his dad, Coach Ray, as they call him, Ray Meyer.
Well, Joel, they've been almost 50 years now with the same last name at Depaul. That's nice. 50 years, the same head coaching family.
Depaul leads the overall series by 3. Last year, Louisville, a winner by 14 at Depaul. 2 years ago, a 21-point win for the Blue Demons right here at Rosemont Horizon. They played 4 games between the two in the suburbs of Chicago. And Depaul has taken 3 of the 4. Denny Crum told us yesterday he didn't want to tell his team how difficult it is to win in this building. Controlled as Stephen Howard doesn't get the fingertip roll for Depaul. Very early, Depaul wants to control the tempo. Al, they don't want to get in an open court game with Louisville, a team that averages a little bit better than 85 points a game, while Depaul only averages 65 points a contest.
They're in man-to-man. I thought that time they should have many touches, work the clock down, because the refs like to blow early to pick up a foul early in the game, because referees don't want to lose control.
There's the first turnover of the contest. Sullivan going one way, the pass going the other. And the Blue Demons get it back.
Pressure up court. 2-1-2. Now it's 2-2-1. Felton Spencer playing a one-man zone in the back.
Stephen Howard has a good touch. Southpaw 0 for 2, though, from the floor. And Keith Williams with his second rebound of the early going. Everett Sullivan, the baseline jumper. Sullivan worked out of the backcourt as a freshman last year off the bench. Break for Booth. And Depaul gets the first 2 points of the contest. 55 seconds into the first half. David Booth with the basket. Sophomore from Peoria, Illinois. Joey told us yesterday, we've got problems. We are not a very mature group right now. Leading scorers, 2 sophomores and a freshman.
They got to get 40 points, as I said from the top, out of Booth and Howard.
Spencer misses his first try. Depaul.
Watch their lay off Melvin Foster. He's got the ball right now.
Foster's really had problems from the outside. Good penetration pass to Kevin Holland. It is rejected, though. Cornelius holding with a block, and he picks up the loose stuff. Keith Williams looking for the break. Depaul back in the transition game, though. Setting up man-to-man defensively.
Holden likes to play center. That's his position. It's going up.
Ice cold at the outset, the Louisville Cardinals. Almost 2 minutes into the contest, they're without a point. A 2-0 Depaul lead.
Next time down, it's time to pump it inside, punch it inside. Felton Spencer.
Terry Davis, Joey Meyers says, such a complete player. He's got the body of a senior, even though he's only a freshman. David Booth Can't get it. The tip is missed by Howard, but last touch by Louisville. It still belongs to the Blue Demons in the offensive end.
Stephen Howard just can't get one to drop. He's put 4 shots up there. They all danced around, but didn't drop.
They tried to get it to Howard, knocked away very wisely. David Booth did not touch the ball, standing on the baseline. Howard, an outstanding student, 3.6 grade point average. Pre-law major. They bring it into Melvon Foster. His father's Melvin with an I-N. Pronounced Melvon with an O-N. Taken away by Everett Sullivan on the steal.
Now here comes the dunk. Now watch U of L now try to turn over and get a run going. Joey Myers up and says, be patient. You know, Coach Crum looks for runs. Once they score a dunk, they try to get a run.
Took the Cardinals 2.5 minutes to get their first points. They're welcoming David Booth to take the jumper. He finds it.
Big for David Booth. He went over the 7-footer with that. Showed some class.
They'd like David Booth to bulk up a little. He's 6'7", 180 as they pour it inside. For Felton Spencer. Now, behind Spencer, the Cardinals don't have a true center. They'll move Cornelius Holden over to the center position.
So Holden's 6'8".
Keith Williams. Cardinals still can't find it. After the nice little pass from Felton Spencer.
Cardinals hard man-to-man. Denny does not like to play his zone. Hasn't played his zone yet this year. Last year he played a little bit of it.
And most teams this year have worked his zone against the ball. Good inside pass to Holland. He's got the basket. Nice look inside by Depaul. They've got a 4-point lead. Louisville only 1 of 5 from the floor so far.
Still haven't got the ball down low. There it is, the first time down low. It's going up.
Knocked away from behind. Spencer after it. So is Booth. Alternating possession rule on the jump ball. It still belongs to Louisville. Joey Meyer likes the effort. He really likes the group of kids he's working with right now. A very, very young group, though.
Got all ball here this time, but I like the way Spencer follows up. Finds the ball, goes after it, goes on the floor.
David Booth holding on to Everett Sullivan, picking up the first foul of the game. Nice first step to the baseline by Sullivan, beating Booth. Cardinals get it in the offensive end with a fresh 45 of the shot clock. 16:07 left in the first half. Louisville down by 4. That's Everett Sullivan, bringing the Cardinals to within 2. Danny Crum was telling us as LaBradford Smith gets the assist on the basket. We asked him about LaBradford. He said, whatever it takes. If we need 12 assists, LaBradford will get 12 assists. If we need 24 points, Smith will get 24 points. That time, he found the open man on the baseline, Everett Sullivan. Terry Davis doesn't get the roll. Stephen Howard against Spencer. Clean block by Felton Spencer. Away. It still belongs to the Cardinals. We have our first time out at the Rosemont Horizon. Depaul, for the most part, controlling the tempo. And right now,
watch Kevin Holland. He's the tough guy on Depaul. Watch him pick LaBradford Smith. Here's LaBradford Smith, and Kevin Holland will move over here. Where do you see this Iron Mike punch? Here we go. He comes off and right there. Oh, not a contact sport.
None whatsoever. He needed shoulder pads on that play. Kevin Holland with a great muscle definition out of Cerritos High School in Southern California. Coaching staff for Depaul tells us he is fundamentally their best defensive player in the paint. He had a great reputation as a rebounder in high school. That's continued for the Blue Demons. Sullivan barely getting it to Felton Spencer. We welcome you back to Rosemont, Illinois with 15:25 left in the first half. Louisville's got the ball, but they're trailing by 2. Williams with a nice penetration. Still can't get it to go. Sullivan the same. Stephen Howard with the rebound. David Booth wide open for 3. Not close.
He needs someone coming at him. Sometimes guys shoot better when someone comes at them.
Smith lost it. Williams has it. It'll count if it goes. They'll be at the line to shoot 2 instead.
Foul was on Stephen Howard. Came off his man, blocked up the middle. Watch this replay. He penetrates from the side and he gets the ball. Gets by his man. There comes Stephen Howard over. Good call by the ref.
Stephen Howard, the starting center, but it's going to be a committee effort today to stop Felton Spencer in the middle. They'll also work with Charles Sowell, who will be off the bench, the senior from Fayetteville, North Carolina, as well as James Hamby. So they've got about 15 fouls to give.
Yeah, they'll give 15, or approximately 15. The other two guys are expendable. When they come in, it's just a foul.
1 of 2 for Williams, and still a 1-point lead for the Blue Demons. Stephen Howard wide open for the 15-footer.
You can hit it from there. That's his game. He's not truly a center. He'd rather turn around and face the basket from the foul line extended.
First 2 points of the game for Howard. A 3-point lead for Depaul. Trying to post up Spencer. Good idea.
Automatic. Once the big guy gets it down low, it's automatic. But if you don't allow the Cards to turn you over, you can stay in the ball game. Once they come over half court, Depaul wants to set up a half court. There's the turnover. They were lucky.
Almost got it.
Good hands by L.A.
It pays off as LeBradford Smith had it but walked with it. Got it caught on his hip. But the pressure almost paying off for Denny Crum's Louisville Cardinals. You might remember Denny Crum, an assistant coach for John Wooden at UCLA. A little bit better than 20 years ago. A Wooden disciple that likes to play a pressure defense in the backcourt.
Keeps it on you, figures eventually you'll turn it over. I think he should change his pressure once in a while, maybe put a man-to-man on rather than go 2-2-1 each time on the pressure defense. Man-to-man again, U of L.
On the year, Depaul only 43% from the floor. That has been their biggest problem. They just have not been able to find the outside shot. Terry Davis has been lighting it up recently, but Melvon Foster, the young man who just passed it off to Booth, really having his problems. Little jump hook, nice roll off the fingertips for David Booth.
David Booth had more strength. He could play better defense, and he can't take a bump. You watch during the game, anytime Booth gets bumped, he won't make the shot. That's because he's not strong. He's about 175 pounds. He's 6'7". He's got to get on the bananas, the Maltons.
They get it inside for Howard, takes it to Spencer, and comes up with 2. A 5-point lead for the Blue Demons, 4 points for Stephen Howard. That is the biggest lead so far. Trying to keep up with LeBradford Smith. Lone assignment on Everett Sullivan, though. Terry Davis didn't come out and get Sullivan.
Tony Kimbro's in there now. Look for him to take a pop from the outside from three-point land. That's number 44. He's a senior. Can't let him shoot from there.
Spencer altered the shot jumping out, though, as Howard misses. 3-point Depaul lead as Louisville gets the ball back. Denny Crum is going to go with a 7-man rotation for the most part today. Kimbro, Arney, and Jerome Harmon, their leading scorers, still on the bench. Spencer doesn't get it to drop. Kevin Holland with the rebound. And Jerome Harmon has also just entered the contest, the leading scorer for the Cardinals. Harmon, quite a story as Holland. They back it out and reset it with Melvon Foster. Foster now, the young man with the ball, could hit a 15-footer. What a difference it would make for the Blue Demons. Good penetration pass. Holland doesn't get it to go. Loose ball, Kimbro with LeBradford Smith.
Now the true Louisville team's in there with Jerome Harmon. He lights it up.
Foul inside, Terry Davis trying to slap the ball away from Tony Kimbro. First foul on Davis. Third team foul on the Blue Demons. Cornelius Holden ready to come into the lineup once again. He'll replace Felton Spencer. So a much smaller lineup now.
Yeah, Chucky Murphy just went for Davis. Take the freshman out. Murphy's a sophomore. Walk-on last year. Talk about a dream. He ends up starting in the NCAA against Memphis State. He's a walk-on.
Everett Sullivan way off the mark as Murphy will bring it up the floor. Murphy the first guard off the bench today because B.J. Tyler has been suspended just a little bit. We'll have that story on B.J. Tyler and why he's not in uniform for the Depaul Blue Demons. David Dupree from USA Today will fill us in just a couple of minutes. Murphy will work the point. Pulled outside, no, a walk. LeBradford Smith on the hip of David Booth, and the walk is called. So a turnover takes us to a timeout. 11:45 left in the first half in Rosemont, Illinois, with the Blue Demons still hanging on by 3.
Following a game plan that worked to perfection.
Welcome back to the Rosemont Horizon. Joel Meyers along with Al McGuire with Depaul on top by 3. With more on the B.J. Tyler story and his suspension, let's go to David Dupree of USA Today.
B.J. Tyler was suspended by Coach Joel Meyer for a number of reasons. They're more like attitude problems, nothing like drugs or anything like that. Things just accumulated. Joey felt this was the best thing for the team. What it does to Depaul, however, though, B.J. is one of their best athletes. Without him, they have to go to Chucky Murphy. Chucky, not the great athlete, but a smarter player, and you're just going to see the tempo have to be controlled by him.
All
Back
right.
to you, Joe.
Thank you very much, David. And what a disastrous development for Joey Meyer. It thins him out on the bench, and it comes at a time where the guard, B.J. Tyler, is coming off his best game as a Blue Demon against Detroit on Tuesday night. What a catalyst he was off the bench with 10 points and a number of assists.
Well, I feel more for the young man. He's kind of homesick. He's from Texas. This happened twice before where they suspended him for one game. So maybe it's not a serious offense.
Joey told me yesterday he had a heart-to-heart about a week ago with Tyler. He was hoping things would be resolved. Obviously not. Kimbro out of the timeout brings the Cardinals to within one. 11:22 left in the first half. Chucky Murphy is going to work the point now. Terry Davis, the off guard, the shooting guard, as LaBradford Smith gives it his all. Such a leader. Before the end of this year, LaBradford Smith will be the new all-time assist leader in Cardinal history.
Watch
Gets it done to the defensive end,
get
coach.
there, almost to the steal. There he sacrifices his body, tries to pull up, but safe at home. Quicker team now out there because Felton Spencer's out.
Charles Sowell in for the first time for the Blue Demons. Following Kimbro, the reach in. Nice little pick out top. Sowell creating the mismatch with Kimbro trying to take the smaller one.
But you got to remember, Joel, that on crosses, Louisville switches men. That's why they don't have small guards. He goes out and recruits tall guards. He really recruits all forward guard type players. Felton Spencer's a rarity for him, a guy over 7 feet.
Keith Williams back into the lineup. I asked Denny Crum yesterday, I said, look back at your teams of the past. Milt Wagner, Lancaster Gordon, no small guards. As Sowell is blocked by Cornelius Holden. That triggers the break to LaBradford Smith. And the Cardinals have the lead for the first time today.
Got his body between the ball player and the ball.
But Denny Crum was very succinct when he said, I don't like 5'11", 6-foot guards because I like a man-to-man pressure defense. I like to switch a lot. And if I have a 6-foot guard, I've got to switch him on a small forward at 6'6". Then I've got a mismatch I don't want. So that's why you always see Denny Crum with 6'4", 6'5 guards. As they say, Coach, kind of post-up guards. Yeah,
well, what happens with the switch-in defense, otherwise if he has a small guard, they're going to move him down onto the blocks. And he likes to play an open court game. And he is the coach of the 80s. Won 2 national championships, been to the Final Four 6 times.
4 times in the past decade. Melvin Foster. Kevin Holland. And Depaul regains the lead.
Happy birthday, Kevin.
Normally don't see Holland that far away from the basket taking a shot. Good give and go. Beautiful pass to Smith. He can't finish the play, though. Holland with another rebound as the Blue Demons look for the transition game. David Booth. 4 straight for the Blue Demons. 8 for Booth. They lead by 3. Takeaway for Holland. Kimbro lost the handle. Terry Davis.
Good dish off.
Melvin Foster.
Good finalization. Good finalizing. Melvin Foster likes the blacktop. That means playground. He likes open ball games. He'll score a lot in a Louisville type game.
Depaul by 5. The best game of the year for the Blue Demons may have been a loss just a couple of weeks back when they lost to Georgetown. But we're only down by 3 and thrown away by Smith. Or Megan Harmon as Foster tries to play it off the glass. Harmon getting it back to the other end. Almost committing another turnover. It is another turnover. The Cardinals look rattled right now, Coach.
Well, it's only a 5-point spread and 9 minutes left in the half. Depaul's doing an excellent job against their full court pressure.
For the Cardinals, 34, Everett Sullivan. Re-enters the lineup.
Everett Sullivan coming in for the leading scorer for the Louisville Cardinals. Maybe the finest 6th man in the nation, Jerome Harmon, who goes to the bench without a point so far.
He'll be back in. He's the John Havlicek of college.
David Booth leaving it for Holland's baseline attempt. Booth coming up the loose side. 10 of the first 20 for the Blue Demons. belong to David Booth, the young man from Peoria, Illinois, only a sophomore.
The Blackbirds in your face. They did a dunk back on you.
Kimbro gets the foul from Holland. He'll go to the line to shoot two. Another look at David Booth.
Well, the story of the game has been David Booth. He's been hitting from the outside. Now he's hitting the ball down low. Watch him get the ball here, and he does a back, I call it 180 dunk. The splinter, the splendid splinter.
Right now we're on a pace for the game to be in the 60s, Coach. That's exactly what Joey Meyer wanted. He didn't want a game in the 80s. He wanted a game around 65 to 70 at the most.
Well, I think what's happening, they haven't been shooting that good either club. I think the pace is too fast for Depaul, and I think it'll show up the second half.
Joey Meyer making a substitution, bringing in James Hamby for the first time, giving Stephen Howard a break. As Kimbro hits the first of two. Blue Demons lead it by 6 now. Kimbro started this season in the starting lineup, but they made the move to Cornelius Holden. So Kimbro now coming off the bench. Benny Crum feels that he's got not only great balance, but great depth this year. You look back to the early 80s, the great Louisville teams had a number of players coming off the bench, like Harmon and like Kimbro. Thrown away by Booth. Holland trying to create the jump ball. Couldn't tie up the Cardinals. Here comes Louisville. Go right to the big man, who's rejected, but a foul on the play.
That's one of those 15. Hamby's in there just to give a couple of fouls, neutralize the weight and strength of Felton Spencer. Later they put in Solwell to do the same thing. Watch it there. There's Hamby. Just leaning on him. Obviously a good call. Here's the guy. What work ethics. Took up boxing. Took up ballet. Runs 5 miles a day. You say it can't be done. I watched him as a freshman. Had soft body fat on him. Look at him today.
Really worked on his body control with the ballet classes. Then after taking the ballet classes, he went to martial arts courses, and I guess he had to take those so he wouldn't get any trouble from the guys for those ballet classes. Felton Spencer, what a story he's been for Louisville this year. Be right back to Rosemont. So that's great college basketball coming up tomorrow on NBC. Later today, though, what a show it is going to be. High-stakes golf. The Senior Skins game with Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Lee Trevino, Gary Blair, where it's a very unique round of golf. One putt could be worth $450,000. That's the Senior Skins coming up right after college basketball, only on NBC.
Well, Joel, there's 4 guys there that will never have crop failure. They don't count their money anymore. They weigh it. Or measure it.
Welcome back to the Rosemont Horizon. Joel Meyers along with the coach Al McGuire. David Dupree joining us as our sideline reporter today. USA Today. Cardinals showing some token pressure in the backcourt. Stayed off a couple of times.
Yeah, they're getting closer. Their hands is just about an inch away. But Depaul's doing an excellent job keeping their patience. Getting the ball to Booth. Booth's been hot.
Keep Hamby in the game.
Booth is free. Let it fly, son.
He's the leading scorer for the Blue Demons, and he's got 12 already today. Once again, a 6-point lead for Depaul.
Ball's getting away with a man-to-man.
Louisville has seen a number of teams try to slow it down on them already this year. Sullivan had to jump pass it in there to Spencer. Blocked by Hamby, but fouled at the same time. Good defense, though, once again by the Depaul Blue Demons. First, they make Sullivan alter his penetration move and almost get the clean block on Spencer. Second foul already on James Hamby.
Yeah, now Hamby again is leaning on him. Spencer's trying to create room in there so he can do his dance. And as I said earlier, Hamby's expendable. They'll move him out, to move Soul in, to move Howard Stevens in, and they'll shotgun those 15 fouls on Spencer throughout the game.
Felton Spencer, the senior from Eastern High School in Louisville. Getting the first of 2. This is his first year as a starter. Over the last 3 seasons, his first 3 with the Cardinals, he only had 6 starts, backing up Never Nervous Purvis.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons why he's so good every day going against Never Nervous Purvis Ellison, who was the #1 draft choice in the NBA last year.
Pressure almost paid off again for the Cardinals. Gary Davis trapped in the corner. Rolls it very wisely for a freshman. What a heads-up play by Davis.
That's because he's from the suburbs in Atlanta, Georgia.
Terry Davis, many thought he'd go to Alabama, Georgia, Auburn, all the schools that recruited him. Surprised a lot of people, though, coming to play for Joey Meyer at Depaul.
Melvin Foster's the only player from a public school, city public school out of Chicago for Depaul.
Good entry pass. Foul before David Booth could slam it home, but a good look by Stephen Howard, who just came back off the bench replacing Hamby.
The reason the pass was so good is it was bouncing. Now watch it when you bounce it in. Oh no, he didn't. He threw it over. I'm sorry. There was a bounce. L.A. tried to steal it too late, and the whistle stopped it.
L.A. LeBradford Smith, such a complete player for the Louisville Cardinals. Melvin Foster has only got 17 points over the last 5 games. He's doing the little things, though. The ball needs, working the point. Tough man-to-man. Terry Davis, partially deflected by Sullivan. Kevin Holland after it. Tied up by Spencer, tries again.
They don't realize that Kevin Holland, is truly a senior. He's only a junior because he was medically redshirted last year with a bad back. He's tremendous build on him, has bulked up over last year.
Played only 2 minutes all of last season due to that back injury you're talking about. They're going for Jerome Harmon, who's still looking for his first points. Knocked out of bounds, last cut by Harmon. It was off his leg. Good half-court defense by Depaul. They've got a 6-point lead in the ball with 5:43 left in the first half. Louisville, 4 percentage so far from the floor. They've really not been able to get into an offensive rhythm. Stephen Howard tries the foul line jumper. Oh! Skied for it. And we've got a foul coming up on David Booth, going over the back of one of the Cardinals.
They might call it over the back. I think they might call it for hanging on the rim. I'm not too sure. Let's see what they call it for. Now watch all of a sudden you see someone fly. There he is. Now he's coming over the back of Sullivan.
That's the second on Booth. Is it the 7th? If it's the 7th, they're in the bonus. I believe it is. Yes. So the rest of the way over the next 5:35. It's the 1-and-1 situation for the Louisville Cardinals.
So Everett Sullivan will go to the line.
For the Cardinals,
They're down 6 points. We got 5.5 minutes left in the first half.
And now with David Booth picking up his second personal foul and heading up to the bench, Daryl Cunningham comes in for Joey Meyer. He is a freshman from Westminster, Illinois, St. Joseph's High School. They have to go with a much smaller lineup now.
We need some playing time, a little bit more experience.
1 of 2 for Sullivan. And it remains a 5-point lead for the Blue Demons.
Keith Williams is good on D, on Foster. If you open up, Foster will go by you.
Bounce for Holland. Cunningham after it, Booth after it. Tenacity from the Blue Demons.
Ball stays down. Same end. Arrow was pointing that way.
Joey Meyer really has to be happy with the effort from his young squad. He said in talking to him yesterday that he is very, very nervous about the present, but very, very excited about the future.
There's solid ball players out there. They work hard and so forth, but there are no true blue chippers out there.
Melvin Foster over Keith Williams. Not close. Cunningham had it, but was out of control, but it goes back to Louisville. Blue Demon fans here at the Rosemont Horizon wanted to shove underneath.
Yeah, they thought he was undercut.
Exactly 5 minutes left in the first half. Hard to believe, only 19 points so far for the Louisville Cardinals. They haven't gotten their 6th man really involved with the offense quite yet, Jerome Harmon. And Spencer, not that much of a factor either at the low post.
He now went to his own for the first time, doubled down on Spencer.
Everett Sullivan with the acrobatic move. Had to alter that shot.
That's a tough shot. Sully, you got to play it off the glass, the window. He played all rim. Surprisingly, went in.
Sullivan leads the Cardinals with a total of 9 so far. Harmon, though, still scoreless. Coming into the game with a 16-point average. Balance has been the byword for Louisville this year. 6 players averaging double figures. Foster with the penetration. And a 6-point lead for Depaul.
Anytime you let Melvon Foster go one-on-one, he's a PT vote. Back to a 5-point lead.
A 5-point advantage for Depaul. Spencer got away from Howard. Won't get the roll. Melvon Foster throwing it away. LeBradford Smith reading the passing lane.
Give it back to L.A. Nice move. Nice move. What he did, he made Stephen Howard commit defensively. Good play by Williams.
Down to a 3-point game. Such a complete player. LeBradford Smith making the steal, getting involved in the break if he's needed as the trailer.
Got to move Booth back in. They got to get more scoring out there for Depaul, the Demons.
A little nudge by Spencer. Howard goes blind. Doesn't take much. Melvon Foster held out by Keith Williams.
Keith had a little bit too much hands that time. Tried to come from the bottom up. It's a good defensive way of doing it. Come from the bottom up, but you close your hands then, because a closed hand makes no sound. A lot of times referees blow the whistle by sound, so knuckles do not make any sound.
That's the first on Williams. Only the third team foul, though, on the Cardinals with 3:07 left in the first half. Be right back. Coming up at the half, we'll head back to New York for a sports update with Gail Gardner in the studio. Bill Walsh will join us from New Orleans with a report on tomorrow's Super Bowl. And, of course, our State Farm rules of the game. Let's get a report now from David Dupree of USA Today.
For Depaul, number 30.
One of the things that Coach Meyer is saying, there's 4 parts to a basketball game. The first 5 minutes of each half and the last 5 minutes. These last 5 minutes, he's calling crunch time. They've got to do what they've been doing. He wants them to go into some automatic plays, just read the defense and go right into him.
All right, thank you, David, for the update. Depaul controlling the tempo and controlling the game for the most part. The biggest lead in the contest enjoyed by the Blue Demons at 20-13. They're up by only 3 now as they put it back into play.
Doing a great job, but I feel like one of my favorite singers, Randy Travis, it's just a matter of time. But well, let's see, Depaul's hanging in there strong.
High post Howard.
And always remember, there's no upsets at home.
Spencer committing the foul, reaching in on David Booth. Other scores around the nation. Another great team this year for Lou Henson, the Fighting Illini. What a tussle it's going to be in the Big Ten, though. LSU has had their problems in recent weeks. Metro Conference matchup with Florida State winning on the road. Today we have one Metro Conference official, Larry Ware. The other 2 referees from the Missouri Valley Conference, Darrell Lamson, Terry Anderson. Chucky Murphy has problems, throws it away. Another turnover, the 7th committed. Harmon finding Holden. Louisville back within a point.
Nice teamwork by Jerome Harmon. He's not pressing. Most times the kid would press to score.
David Booth keeping it alive after the miss. Belton Spencer on the baseline. It still belongs to the Blue Demons. Murphy got in trouble.
Watch this turnover here. Had indecision. Booth cut, went down to the floor. Here comes the alley-oop, was thrown too low. Finish off automatically.
Melvon Foster and Terry Davis now taking over the backcourt as Murphy finds a seat on the bench.
Joey'd like to get in at halftime, either tie or the lead. It's a young team. They might rattle. One of their problems early in the year was when UNLV murdered them by 30-some-odd points.
Terry Davis for 3. Howard battling with Spencer, and a foul coming up.
Now you're pushing the wrong guy, Stephen Howard.
Not only is he big, but he knows martial arts now.
Yep. Plus he's taking boxing. Plus he's about 275 pounds, isn't he?
Belton Spencer, a legit 7-footer at 265. He's the first 7-footer, believe it or not, to ever play for Denny Crum.
Here we go. I watch Stephen Howard. Stephen's been playing a great game. Kids out of Texas. They go down on the floor. There's no pushing and shoving. He gets up right there. Howard gave him a little shove. Says, hey, big guy, stay off me, will you? It's like trying to ride a blimp, a Zeppelin.
Not the wisest move by Stephen Howard. Let's see if there's retribution later in the contest. Belton Felton Spencer, 4 of 4 so far this afternoon to the free throw line, is back to the stripe, shooting the bonus.
Denny wanted that one real bad, but he would have put pressure on if the fouls were made.
Depaul with the ball, still a 1-point lead. Minute 45 left in the first half. Melvon Foster using the glass. Booth follows. It's been the David Booth show so far in the first half. He's got 14 of the first 28. He has accounted for 50% of the Blue Demons offense.
Bradford Smith better start boxing him out.
Smith trying to create at the opposite end. Follows his own.
You know, great ball players, the blue chippers like with Bradford Smith, when you score on them, they want to come back and do it right in your face. That's why he did it that time. Right back at him. There's a trap. Pick up the ball a little bit too soon, Melvon.
Harmon will pick up Booth, and Harmon commits to follow the baseline.
I thought you had too much hands in there.
Harmon is quite a story, Al. 2-year layoff, Prop 48 case, missed all of last year due to an injury. And now the leading scorer off the bench, arguably the top 6th man in the nation.
32, Jerome Harmon.
Miami not finding much of an opposition, an opponent today for Notre Dame.
Maybe the Golden Domers are getting into sync.
Well, that's not good news for Joey Meyer, because Joey Meyer, over the second half of the season, has Notre Dame twice. Blue Demons bring it in with a fresh 45 of the shot clock. Foster didn't care, though. Terry Davis.
Oh.
It'll count.
Good
Foul
move.
underneath on James Hamby, shoving Spencer from behind, but the basket will count. That'll be the 3rd foul already on Hamby, and he's only been in there for about 3 or 4 minutes.
Here's a great move by Davis. He goes up, and on his way down, he stretches out his legs to stay off the floor, so the shot was good. Meanwhile, Hamby committed his 3rd personal foul, which is what he is supposed to do out there. Lean on Spencer Felton. The other way around, gang.
Just put a comma in the middle.
Felton Spencer. Now, if they make this foul shot, you will see pressure real strong, because Crum wants to get in at halftime with a lead. Here comes the pressure.
6 of 7 at the free throw line. A total of 8 points for Felton Spencer. Shot clock, game clock, 17 seconds apart. Cunningham jumping it for Holland. Low percentage pass almost worked. Foster tying it up with Spencer.
Goes with Louisville this time.
Alternating possession rule, and it belongs to the Cardinals. Exactly 45 seconds left in the
What are you
first half.
clapping for, Melvin? Get back down. It goes to Louisville. Good effort. You played hard, but it's their ball.
Charles Sowell taking up with James Hamby before he could possibly pick up a 4th personal foul.
All right, 45 seconds, so the small clock is off. Always remember the small clock is a shot clock. The big clock is the game clock. Look for them to take it down to about if they can.
Oh, we asked Denny Crum yesterday, who's your go-to guy? He said all of them. They all want the ball. We don't just go to Spencer inside late in the contest or late in the half. But Bradford Smith didn't worry about the scoreboard. And Holden is rejected by Sowell. Cardinals will have another try, though.
Now they'll go definitely.
Left in the half.
They'll definitely go for one shot now. I know Denny Crum too well. They'll definitely go for one. There he is. He's telling them, go for one. They'll look for the shot around 6 or 5 seconds. It's important psychologically to get a lead point, 1-point lead on Depaul.
Depaul has never come from behind when trailing at halftime this year. Everett Sullivan stepping behind the 3-point line. Holden with the rebound. He's fouled. Underneath. Will it be on Cunningham? Followed on Kevin Holland, his 2nd.
They did it absolutely right. They took the shot with about 6 seconds left. If the shot is missed, it allows your teammates to get a rebound and put it back up. It doesn't allow the opponent to get down, score, down court, and take a shot, unless it's a Hail Mary shot.
That is a stat I just mentioned that Joey Meyer does not like to hear. His team has never come from behind when they're trailing at halftime. In fact, they've never trailed in the second half and been able to come from behind.
Well, this will determine it right now. Let's give that stat again.
Tied at 30.
Give that stat again. Joel.
We'll find out.
Nope.
It's even. Final try for Terry Davis. Blue Demons head to the halftime locker room, tied up with the Louisville Cardinals. What a boost it's got to be for Joey Meyer's 10-9 squad, though, to play so strong in the first 20 minutes of play. Be right back to Rosemont, and we'll check in with Gil Gardner.
He's got to free himself as he wants the ball. On David Booth, he says it's a team game. They've got more than one person has to stop him. The people who are guarding him, he says, have to play off him more so they can step through those screens.
All right, thank you, David. Depaul with the ball. It's tied at 30 as we welcome you back to the suburbs of Chicago. Cold, cold day outside. Comfortable in the indoors. Comfortable day here in the Rosemont Horizon. Almost thrown away. Joey Meyer told them, wait till there's about 25 seconds left on the shot clock before you really get into your offensive set.
We want to get the ball to Booth. He had 14 points in the first half.
Stephen Howard has 6. The ball needs to control the tempo, continue to make Louisville play catch up. Louisville so talented up and down their lineup. Such great athletes like the young man with the ball right now, LaBradford Smith. So many athletes that can play any position on the floor.
They interchange.
Off the leg of Cornelius Holden. It goes to the Blue Demons. Now let's see if the Cardinals have a better first 5 minutes of the second half than the first 5 minutes of the contest when they just couldn't find it offensively.
Well, I think they should go to man-to-man pressure and get away from that 2-2-1. Depaul has solved that. This should be 2 in tight.
Booth against Everett Sullivan, where he has an inch or 2 advantage. 16 points now for David Booth. First 4 of the second half going to the Blue Demons. Sullivan doesn't get the roll, and it goes back to Depaul.
U of L has to start shooting from the outside. The Blue Demons are just clogging up down low and boxing out. The ever-present man-to-man by the Cardinals.
Working on Spencer. Stephen Howard with the fingertip roll gets the foul, but doesn't get the basket.
I don't think this foul's on Spencer.
They'll call it on Everett Sullivan.
Yep.
The team's first of the second half.
He was coming over the back of David Booth on the rebound attempt.
David Booth had the inside position, which is a no-no.
Just beating the 5 count. They get it to Howard. Both teams starting the second half with the same 5 they started the contest with. And it's thrown away by Depaul. They only had 7 turnovers, Al, over the first 20 minutes. Both teams with only 7 turnovers, so a pretty clean game.
Joey be happy, 14 for the game. That's 14 TOs, turnovers.
Keith Williams.
Nice
Great move, drawing the foul, getting the basket.
I call that a disco move. That's a move you do with your hips. You're up in the air and you want to hang and get some leverage, and you move your hips into your opponent's body. Watch this. Up he goes. He's hung. Now watch him move his hips. And see that? Good camera work, guys.
Senior, Seneca High School in Louisville. Keith Williams has the 3-point play. Cardinals are only down by 1. Williams, a nice success story for Denny Crum, has improved his outside shooting in each year, moving into the starting lineup for the Cardinals over the last 3 seasons.
This is what Melvin Foster wants, an open court.
Not exactly what Joey Meyer, his coach, wants, though.
No, but Melvin Foster's that type of player. He's my type of player. The type of kids we used to have at Marquette.
David Booth had to alter it, still gets it. Hit it on the way down because of the defensive pressure of Everett Sullivan.
He's a shooter and a scorer.
He's got 18 already, averaging 16 a contest coming in.
All he needs is muscle and strength. Zone. It's a 1-2-2 or 2-3. Man-to-man principles. You got to shoot from the outside, U of L. It's about time. Nope, they're pounding it in again.
Holden double team. Kept alive by Foster and picked up by Howard.
Howard has to be a little careful swinging those elbows. They'll blow the whistle on him.
Kevin Holland. Young man man from Southern California doesn't get it. Felton Spencer with a rebound. Fans here at Depaul wanted to travel. Bounce pass would have worked there. Instead, they tried to rifle it in to hold it.
They're overconscious of pounding it inside low.
Holland drawing the foul on Holden.
Good head and shoulder fake by Kevin Holland. Holland is setting up a dike. Got his finger in the dike. Watch the head and shoulder fake by Holland here. Give it to him, Kevin. Up and down. There's the foul on the way down.
Anytime you leave your feet, you're in trouble, and Holden picks up his first personal foul.
Defensively, if you leave your feet, you're in prison.
Tony Kimbro into the lineup now. Taking over for Cornelius Holden. Holland with the 16-footer. He's 0 for 2 1/2. Cardinals every opportunity looking for the break. LaBradford Smith out of control, though. Gets a break as the Cardinals or the Blue Demons throw it away, and Sullivan makes them pay the price. They've got some leapers.
Joey always jumps up after a basket like that, especially a dunk. These guys like to be called the block birds.
Denny had the Doctors of Dunk, Darrell Griffith's team in 1980 as the foul is committed on the inside drive. Those were the Doctors of Duncanstein. This team already has more dunks. 16 games in the season that that team had in the entire 80 campaign. Second foul on Felton Spencer's Jerome Harbin. The key sixth man off the bench. In for Keith Williams for Louisville. Stephen Howard goes to the line to shoot 2 for the Blue Demons. 92 dunks so far this year. Everett Sullivan on top in that department. The Doctors of Dunk back in 80 with 84th the entire season.
Plus an NCAA championship in Indianapolis.
Won it in 80 for Denny Crum and also in 86. And 4 times in the 80s, though, going to the Final Four. Quite an accomplishment for any program, Al.
And Denny Crum has never received Coach of the Year award.
Hard to believe.
AP coaches, doesn't make sense.
1 for 2 for Howard at the line, a 2-point Depaul lead.
Blue Demons in the zone, force them to shoot from the outside. They got to shoot from the outside. It's about time. Took them too long to start.
Bradford Smith with the basket.
Ball gets in the middle, breaks all pressure. Throw the ball out the way it goes in. It's broke. Watch your 10 count. Off to the races.
Took them 8 seconds to get it across the timelines. Terry Davis. Can't get it, but Spencer had it knocked away, so Melvon Foster is going to reset the offense.
Stephen Howard got away with a foul that time.
Heard that way from here. Joey Meyer said today that he didn't want to slow it down, he just wanted patience. Booth doesn't get the basket, foul.
It won't be a shooting foul. The foul came before he shot, so it'll be take the ball out underneath or on the side.
It'll be on Tony Kimbro. His second foul on the Cardinals, the second team foul so far in the second half. Don't forget tomorrow on Sports World, John Molina puts his title on the line, taking on Lupe Suarez. That'll be tomorrow on NBC Sports World. And then right after basketball from Chicago today, the Senior Skins in Hawaii. Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Lee Trevino. A great Skins game right after college basketball, only on NBC. The Demons have it. It's tied at 37. 15 minutes left in the second half.
I like Lee Trevino and Skins.
Holland rejected but fouled at the same time. Good look underneath by Stephen Howard from the high post to the low post.
Here's the high post look. Good position by Holland underneath. Kevin Holland's consistent. Usually gets about 8 points a game and 8 boards. Plays tough D. You don't know what his true potential is. I think you'll find that out next year. Very seldom can a guy come back after a year off in a medical red shirt, which he was last year.
He now has 7 points, 7 rebounds. Tenacious defensive player and rebounder, especially at the defensive end of the floor. 2-point lead for Depaul. At the conclusion of today's game. We'll be selecting a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player. From each team, Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to the general scholarship fund of each school. Jerome Harmon with his first 2 points of the contest.
They have to shoot from outside Louisville to loosen up underneath. Then they can kick it inside to Spencer.
David Booth rejected. Battered off the window by Spencer.
Good save by Kimbro.
Sullivan hits the trailer. Unfortunately, it was the 7-footer who couldn't handle it. Felton Spencer, and it goes back to Depaul.
That is Sullivan's fault, not Spencer's. Here's the play down the other end. He drives baseline. A lot of hands on the ball. Here's the save by Tony Kimbro.
Many of you that just joined us may be surprised by that score. But Depaul showing a great deal of patience in the offensive end, slowing it down somewhat, working the shot clock. Not all the way down, but going into their offense just about now with 25 seconds left of the shot clock.
Booth having a real good game. He's on fire. Plus, you got to remember, their record here at the Horizon is outstanding.
They've won 80% of their games here at the Rosemont Horizon since they moved into this building 10 years ago. Holland with the offensive rebound is fouled after the miss by Melvin Foster. Holland back to the line for 2. Good, solid position underneath.
Sullivan was on his back, and he fouled him from behind. He was out of position.
Second foul on Everett Sullivan already. The 6th team foul on Louisville. Still 13:51 left in the contest. Holland putting together a solid performance today at both ends of the floor.
Every team has a bouncer, and KH is the bouncer for the Blue Demons. Look at those muscles.
Joey was telling us yesterday, though, and talking about a bouncer type of player. He's got a great group of kids. If anything, he'd like to see them play a little hungrier, a little meaner at times. Spencer can't get the banker. He's had a tough time underneath today. Not that time, though.
He says, I'm not taking any chances from now on. I'm going to dunk him. He really missed a chippy.
That is only the second lead of the contest for the Louisville Cardinals. You have to go all the way back to 13-12 for their only other advantage.
You've got to go to Booth.
Let's see if they look for their leading scorer. Instead, a low percentage pass, but they get a break and get it back.
Booth has got to move without the ball. He comes around the pick now. Here he comes. Kick it out to him. Let it fly.
Wide open for 3. Almost tipped up, and in it is by Jerome Harmon. It gives Depaul a 1-point lead again. Spencer answers at the opposite end in a big hurry with an exclamation point.
He's not fooling around anymore. He knows he has to dunk him from the drop in today.
What do you call it, the hometown rims?
Well, they're soft rims, they're breakaway.
Melvin Foster.
He's in the open court. You're in trouble. Nice kickoff. Freshman goes up.
Foul underneath on Stephen Howard. Jostling for position with Jerome Harmon underneath. Third foul on Howard. Only the second team foul in the second half, though, on Joey Meyer's Blue Demons. A couple of weeks ago, they rose to the occasion against Georgetown before finally losing. Trailed by only 3 with a minute to play. Today, putting together a complete effort once again against the number 4 team in the nation, the Louisville Cardinals. Louisville with a 1-point lead, 12:28 left. The margin of error reduced by Felton Spencer. Louisville with the ball. They've got a 1-point lead with 12:20 left in the contest.
Put Sowell in on Spencer. He'll keep the foul. Here it comes.
And they do lob it over so well. He picks up the foul.
That's what he's in there for. It's one of those 15, Hamby, Sowell, and Howard. That's Joey's game plan.
Charles Sowell, a very gifted young man, a talented artist. Studying art and design, a senior from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Wants to go to commercial art when his playing days are over. Good penetration by Everett Sullivan, but he can't finish the play. And he charges in the process. Stephen Howard blocking things up. Third foul on Everett Sullivan. Great leaper, only at 6'5", played in the backcourt last year. Denny said to us yesterday, he's a guard, but he can play forward for us, small forward.
Leans in here, plays it off the glass the right way, gets called with the charge. Both teams now are waiting. Whoever breaks out now could win this ball game, because then they get to playing dominoes or checkers where you spread it out. This game's been nip and tuck all the way. There's 12 minutes left. So whoever can get a 4 or 5 point lead can be in the catbird seat.
You've got to hit your bonus opportunities, though. That was the 17th foul on Louisville. So Depaul shooting the 1-1 the rest of the way. Felton Spencer charges. Now that is a tough call.
I don't agree with the call. It's a hard call. You got to allow the man room to land after he catches the ball.
You can't jump in underneath him.
Well, he didn't jump in, but you're still allowed to have. You got to let Spencer watch. He jumps up for the ball. Now you got to allow him room to land. They call that the rule of verticality. No, they don't.
Waiting for that, Al.
That's on the defensive end.
Harmon with the steal, but he was on the baseline, out of bounds. Pressure in the backcourt. Almost healthy. Cardinals once again. They still have that 1 point lead with 11:57 remaining.
What's the 5 count? We had that at halftime.
It cost them. Great pressure. Great defensive work by Louisville.
Mr. Fred Bearcat at halftime told you about that. He's the head of the officials in the ACC. You got a 5 count. You got to call a timeout before you count to 1,005.
Kimbro on the floor for Cornelius Holden. Joining Spencer. Harmon on the baseline. Well, Bradford Smith and Keith Williams out top for the Louisville Cardinals. They've got the ball in a 1 point lead. Posting up Kimbro. Kimbro, second attempt. And a foul as well. It'll count.
Wow, what a big break for the Cardinals. Again, I hate to repeat myself, but if Tony bottoms this one out, you'll see pressure underneath. Misses the first one. Now this one goes off the glass. More like a prayer. He's just putting it up, looking for the 2 fouls, and it goes in. There's the high five.
Lowered his shoulder into Sowell and drew the foul. Kimbro. Giving the Cardinals their largest lead of the afternoon as they're up by 4.
The turnover comes now. Joey will call a timeout. He doesn't want a 6 point spread. Here comes the double team. There's the pressure. Good call. It was a good call. You reached in too much, LA. Too much hands.
They're calling it on Jerome Harmon.
Well, it was a double team. I thought that LA reached in on the other side. Here's the double team. See, I thought right there where LA reached in. Jerome came from the other side.
Harmon's third. Great success story this year for the Louisville Cardinals. Sophomore from Lew Wallace High School. An All-American at Lew Wallace High School in Gary, Indiana. It's an offer. You see a leading scorer in college basketball coming off the bench. That's the situation for Louisville so far this year. David Booth capitalizing on the bonus situation.
It got them 14-2. One of those games they lost to the #1 team in the country, the Tigers from Missouri, and Storm and Norman, their coach, Norman Stewart.
Danny told us yesterday that's the best team he's seen so far this year, and that was way back in November at the Maui Classic. Harmon.
Big, big shot.
Big time play. Floating off balance jumper. 4 points for Jerome Harmon.
Get the ball into Chucky Murphy's hands, settle down, work the clock, take your 20 seconds, then go for Booth.
This is where they really miss B.J. Tyler. Good entry pass to Booth. Jump ball.
Left right-handed hook.
If you've just joined us, B.J. Tyler, the first guard off the bench for the Depaul Blue Demons this year, suspended yesterday, walking out of practice after a confrontation with Joey Meyer. His future of the Blue Demons in doubt. Knocked away by Sowell. The break for Booth. Finishes it off. David Booth now only 4 off his career high. He's got 25. 4 straight for Depaul, and they trail by only 1.
Showed maturity in the last 30 seconds. They were 2 big baskets.
Lob for Spencer. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Fouled by Sowell. They'll call it instead on the reach-in from Melvon Foster.
Number 20, Melvon Foster. His second
Watch the steal here. Now here we go down. Booth all the way. Nice and smooth. He's silky. Someday, maybe a potential All-American, but he needs weight. Can't do without weight. Because it hurts him defensively, and it hurts him when he gets bumped when he's shooting.
Joey said yesterday he's not quite strong enough right now at the defensive end of the floor because he's only 6'7", well actually 6'7" and only 180 pounds.
Athletic save that time by LeBradford Smith. Got to shoot more from outside.
Man-to-man pressure defense. Harmon.
I caught him.
Fouled on the arm.
Yeah, Booth caught him on the arm. Booth might be getting tired. When you see a ball player lean over like that, put his hands on his knees, that's usually a sign of starting to need a blow. Maybe Joe might take him out for a couple of minutes. Davis just come in for Melvin Forster.
That's one of the points Joey Meyer brought up. You raise it as well, Al, that Booth at times becomes run down in the second half, the final 10 minutes of the contest.
See his hands on his hips there? That's a sign.
Jerome Harmon, only 4, averaging 16, misses the free throw. Cornelius Holden back into the lineup, replacing Felton Spencer.
Jerome missed the foul shot that time because he left the line too soon after he shot. Stay in the line, Mr. Holden. Nope, did it again.
Misses both free throws. Terry Davis back in the backcourt. Depaul with Chucky Murphy. So it's a pair of freshmen now working with the backcourt for the Blue Demons. Great bounce to David Booth. Kevin Holland with the beauty. Blue Demons on a 6-0 run. Regain the lead. Hopped away, Booth doing it at both ends of the floor. Harmon sleeping a little bit.
Didn't get the wake-up call this morning.
Young lineup out there for Joey Meyer. A holding call underneath away from the ball on Cornelius Holden. As Kevin Holland is trying to post up down low. Second foul on Holden. Don't forget, coming up next on NBC, Senior Skins with $450,000 on the line.
Also tomorrow, I got some game. I got Georgia Tech against Duke on the campus of Duke, where they have all those crazies, those students, the loonies. But you're taking on Penny Anderson's going against Bobby Hurley, who might be the best 2 point guards in the country as freshmen.
Tough to believe that Kenny Anderson is only a freshman after you've watched him. Something special.
Well, they say he's the best ball player out of the Big Apple since Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's a long time ago.
Holland doesn't get the roll. Depaul, though, still with a 2-point lead, 9-10 left in the contest. Smith working on the freshman. Spin move pays off. LeBradford Smith ties it at 50.
Change their D here. A little bit more pressure. Here comes the trap from Smith from the far side. They got him trapped. Nice play. Nice kick out.
Booth lost it in midair. That's why he didn't get a traveling call. But he changed hands on that one.
Here's the break. The numbers are right.
Williams out of control. Kimbro is fouled on the reach-in by Sowell. They wanted the traveling call on Keith Williams, but he lost control of the ball.
It could have been a walk in the boardwalk, but the numbers were right. It was 4-on-2. Here's where they thought the walk came. The ball came off Williams' knee, and there's the reach-in by Chucky.
Tony Kimbro shooting the bonus at the free throw line. Melvin Foster and Darrell Cunningham coming into the lineup for Chucky Murphy and Charles Sowell.
Excellent substitutions, especially taking Booth out. He needed the blow, get him back in with about a minute gone. So he'll come back in with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left, and then he'll go to the wire. That means the end of the game.
Louisville regains the lead by a point. 8 minutes, 36 seconds remaining to the contest. 11-point lead for the 14-2 Cardinals. Break opportunity. Davis leaving the 2-on-1. Pulls up. Foster had to arch it. Got it over Kimbro. Spencer's been on the bench for the last 3.5, 4 minutes. Keith Williams just on the 3-point line. No weak side support. Looking for the rebound. Depaul gets it back. All even at 52.
This might be the weakest offensive rebounding game of the year for the Cardinals.
Louisville comes into the game averaging 86 points a contest, and so many of those points off offensive rebounds. 40% of the rebounds this year, Al, at the offensive end.
The putbacks.
Good look to Foster. And he made it more difficult than he really needed to. Keith Williams. Off the fingertips of Holden. Back to the Blue Demons.
There's a timeout on the court.
Great ball game. True college game. College basketball at its best.
An emotional one at the Rosemont Horizon. Right back to Chicago.
Like the heartbeat of America. By Domino's Pizza. Hot, fresh, delicious pan pizza. Domino's Pan Pizza. Nobody delivers better. By Coors Light. The one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now. And by the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be.
A near-capacity crowd at the Rosemont Horizon with the game tied at 52. Let's go to David Dupree now for a report.
During the last timeout, Coach Crum wants his guys to go up with a basketball. He thinks they're doing too many things with the ball instead of just shooting it. Catch the ball, square up to the basket, and go up with the shot. Back to you, Joel.
All right. David Dupree joining us today as our sideline reporter. And Blue Demons giving the Cardinals everything and then some. So many people felt that Louisville would just outclass this team from the outset. That has not been the case, though. In fact, 90% of the way, the Blue Demons have had the lead.
And crunch time now. Coach Denny Crum is taking his jacket off. Hasn't been feeling that well lately. Has a touch of the flu. Score is right where Depaul wants it. Right in the hands of the guy they wanted. Booth, does that give him 20 or 22?
His new career high. He has actually tied his career high at 29. LeBradford Smith loses his balance, but it rolls right to home. Blocked by Holland, but a foul on Holland. Clipped him on the hip. Fourth foul, more importantly for Blue Demon fans, against Kevin Holland. For that last basket for Booth, his 29th point.
Slipped on the floor, obviously, there. Here's where he reached in. Kevin caught a piece of him. Overreacting. Bring out an Emmy.
Cornelius Holden, who has not been much of a factor offensively today for Louisville, will go to the line to shoot 2. Only 8 points so far for Holden. 6 players, though. What great balance for the Louisville Cardinals. 6 players coming in, averaging double figures. Harmon, the leading scorer off the bench, averaging 15 a game. Sullivan with 14 a contest. Spencer, also LeBradford Smith, a 14-point average. And 10 points apiece for Holden and Williams in each of their outings. Illinois with a big win in Big Ten play. LSU pulling away late to bury Florida's. Virginia Tech lost at home to the Seminoles of Florida State in a Metro Conference matchup. Holden, problems at the free throw line. Al, there has been talk recently about Louisville and maybe even Memphis State leaving the Metro Conference. And so much speculation all over the country regarding an independent like Depaul because of the recent move by Penn State to join the Big Ten.
Well, one of the big reasons why Penn State and the Big Ten are having a marriage is because of the TV market in the East. And but I think eventually by the middle of the 1990s you'll see a super football conference, and there'll be about 60 of them, and there'll be a playoff, and the networks will pay for 7 years about $5 billion for that playoff.
Pays off to follow your own shot. Booth rejected the second time, though. They'll reload the offense
And get a new clock.
6.5 minutes left. Entry pass to Howard around Spencer, rejected by Holden. Loose ball picked up by Kimbro. Holden coming over from the weak side with a big defensive play.
Still think they got to let some shots fly from the outside like that.
Kimbro's off the mark, but Cunningham's coming over the back of Holden. Good call. Joey Meyer ready to make a substitution. Bringing back his starting guard, Terry Davis. Freshman, College Park, Georgia. Replaces Darrell Cunningham, so a smaller lineup now for the Blue Demons.
Need better ball handlers in there now. That's why Davis is back in. Excellent ball handler. Didn't like the way he put that one in. He was lucky that one went through. Cornelius, you better get a little bit more height in your foul shot. He's really the backup center. That was better.
It's a 1-point Louisville lead. 6:14 left.
The ball was absolutely ready for U of L's pressure. You stop the turnovers. When you stop the turnovers, you can play against Louisville.
Belbon's Foster's problems from the outside continue. Coming into the contest, only 17 points over the last 5 games. Foster today with only 6. Good pick by Spencer to free up Keith Williams. Give an assist to Felton. Spencer on the pick outside. 3-point Louisville lead.
Big body, you can rub your defensive man off on him. Good call. Excellent call by Joey Meyer. Outstanding. He now only has 2 timeouts left. Louisville has 4 timeouts left. And we're at 5 minutes and 36 seconds with a 3-point spread.
And I think it's safe to say Denny Crum not exactly happy right now with his Cardinals as we return to the Rosemont Horizon.
Snow, incredible snow.
Our sake. Louisville takes a 3-point lead on this bleeder. Now Denny wants his team up. Is he upset with them? For some reason they went back. Watch him. And he very seldom gets upset. He doesn't yell at people because he doesn't like to be yelled at. But he knows that team should have stayed up to look for the run. They got a 3-point lead. Try to turn them.
He wanted to put the pressure on the baseline immediately after the basket went through.
See, that's the best time to put pressure anytime in a ball game is after you make a basket.
3-point Louisville lead. 5.5 minutes left.
Oh, someone got to play Booth. Oh,
3 for 3. He's got a new career high. 32 for David Booth.
What happened? They fell asleep. The score is tied. That's 3 points. That's a field goal. In football, tomorrow, the Super Bowl. And also, remember, give me a peek. I got Georgia Tech against Duke. If you're a round ball fan, you'll enjoy it.
Lob for Spencer, knocked away. Soel backing it up defensively and doing a solid job. Providing some good minutes off the bench for Joey Meyer. Been a group effort to stop Felton Spencer today. And for the most part, they have stopped the big man in the middle. Most of his points today have come at the free throw line.
Now he should go to low post. Go to low post.
Everett Sullivan with a light touch. A 2-point lead for the Cardinals.
Eric Sullivan is the most improved player. Everybody says Spencer, but I say Sullivan's the most improved player on the club.
Sullivan's got 13 now. Holden can't keep up with Booth. Jump pass. Bad break for the Blue Demons. Instead of 2 shots at the free throw line for Booth, it'll be a 1-and-1. Jumped it over for Stephen Howard. So instead of taking it to the basket and getting 2 free throws or even an attempt at a 3-point play.
Well, anytime, Joel, that you hear a whistle, you automatically put the ball up.
Got it. That's
from grade school on up to pro. And even in the YMCA for those guys that play with underwear hanging out of their pants.
I like your description. 1-point Louisville lead. This really reminds me of the Georgetown game, the way they stayed with the Hoyas. Battled those big men in the middle from John Thompson's team. Tied up once again at 59. Sullivan hit it the last time down. Let's see if they try to go to the hot hand.
I think they'll try to go to their big man if they can.
Oh, look to Sullivan. Telegraph the pass to the weak side, and Booth comes up with a big interception.
Now the clock becomes part of the game. Watch him spread out. And you know who's going to take the shot.
The drive by Foster.
And it wasn't supposed to be Melvin Foster, but Joey will accept it. Must basket this time down.
Foster with 8. Booth almost with another steal. Overplaying Sullivan, who can't capitalize with his man out of position defensively. David Booth, who comes down with the rebound, has a total of 34 today, a new career high. The rest of the Blue Demons, 27 points.
Sowell touches the ball. I would intentionally foul him. He'll back it back out. Got a 3-guard offense. Count Booth as a guard, Foster as a guard, and Davis as a guard.
They've got the mismatch underneath. They get it to Howard. Reverse rejected by Spencer. Right back to Howard. Again, it's not there.
You know, I think this game is meant for Depaul because the last 4 balls miraculously ended up in their hands.
After good defensive plays underneath by Felton Spencer.
And they get a new 45-second clock, and you want to get the ball into Booth's hands.
2-point lead. It's thrown away, though, by the Blue Demons. For an update, let's go to our sideline reporter once again, David Dupree.
What Depaul wants to do is they want to set Booth up in the low post. Then they're coming down for the screen. He's cutting off the screen. If he doesn't get the ball in the paint, he's swinging out to the top of the key, and that's where Coach Meyer said he wants him to go one-on-one, do whatever he can to create something. Why he's scoring so much is that they're using all the options for this one basic play. Back to you, Joel.
All right, David.
David's right on the money. We'll make you an assistant coach, Dave.
2.5 minutes remaining. Depaul with a 2-point lead.
They want LA to have the ball. This is the guy they want with it.
The Bradford Smith hit across the arm by Terry Davis. Good move inside by LeBradford Smith. You're right, Al. They really wanted to solo him up.
Well, why you want him to have the ball? Because now you're talking about God-given talent. I mean, this fella is outstanding. This fella can do anything with a basketball. He's not a hog. He's not selfish. But when you're down here in crunch time, prime time, LA, that doesn't mean Los Angeles. That means Mr. Smith.
Trying for his 20th straight free throw. Brings the Cardinals within 1. LeBradford Smith, the junior from Bay City, Texas. Kevin Holland coming into the baseline for Charles Sowell for the Blue Demons.
That was a good move. Sowell can't score at all. Holland can.
One free throws. 21 straight now by LeBradford Smith. It's all even once again at the Rosemont Horizon with 2:22 left in the contest. Welcome back once again to the Rosemont Horizon at Rosemont, Illinois. Joel Meyers along with the coach Al McGuire. And don't forget, coming up next on NBC, the Senior Skins game in Hawaii with $450,000 up for grabs. 2 minutes, 22 seconds left in the game. It's tied at 61. For an update, let's go to David Dupree once again.
What they're trying to do is spread the floor more when Louisville gets the ball. They're not too concerned about Booth. They think they can guard him just by keeping their heads up and watching where he goes. At the offense, they want to spread the floor, and when Depaul packs down, just pass it across court out top, and they think they'll get a shot that way.
Louisville just went to a 1-3 man-to-man on Booth, a 1-3 zone. Harmon's the top of the zone, and 3 men in the baseline. See him? They're playing man-to-man on Booth. They won't let Booth have the ball.
So
there goes Harmon. Watch Harmon. Harmon's chasing. He's on Booth. They want to get the ball to Booth.
Terry Davis almost gets it. Holland with the rebound.
Oh,
knocked
big
away
hands.
from behind by LeBradford Smith.
By the super blue chipper. Big hands. That's LA.
95 seconds left.
Good defensive change that time by Denny. Now Denny uses his first timeout. He has 3 left. You got to remember, there's only 4 on a TV game.
We'll be back to Rosemont, Illinois.
Out to the top of the key and let it fly. Because today, no matter what you put in, will drop in. Whatever you put up.
LeBradford Smith and Keith Williams working in the backcourt for the Cardinals. Kimbro, Spencer, and Jerome Harmon down low.
Yep.
LaBradford Smith held underneath. He's going to the line now for the 1-and-1. Let's check in again with David Dupree.
Coach Meyer's telling his team not to worry about the defense that they're playing on Booth. Run the basic offense and the shot will come. At the other end, he said you've got to deny the ball and limit them to only one shot. Back to you, Joel.
All right, David. Well, that makes sense because the last thing you want to do is force the situation to David Booth.
Well, I would have, this time in the game, I'd go box one and put a man on LA. This kid's outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
He is at 21 straight free throws. Make it 22.
He was born for pressure.
He has started every game of his Louisville Cardinal career. Led the Cardinals in steals last year, led the Metro Conference in assists as well. He does it all, but he has his string snapped at 22 straight free throws.
1:15 left for the game. There's the combination again. I rub off that baseline. Booth can go up the top of the key. Rub him off the baseline. Booth at Harmon playing without the ball. They're facing without the ball. Got to get the ball to Booth. Rub him off. Now pop out Booth. Now pop out to the top of the key.
Only 8 3-pointers tried between the two teams, 4 apiece.
15 on the shot clock.
Davis double team.
Let him fly. Let him fly.
Knocked away, but right to Howard. Fouled, as it's not close. But he'll go to the line to shoot 2 and try to give Depaul a 1-point lead with 39 seconds remaining. Don't forget, right after college basketball, the suburbs of Chicago, senior skins. That's the 4th personal foul.
I said
picked up by Felton Spencer.
I said at the top of the game, for Depaul to win, they got to get over 40 points from Howard and Booth. And they've got that job done.
Howard ties it up at 62.
39 seconds.
Good man to have at the line. He's the best free throw shooter.
I'd call a timeout to ice him. Yeah, they should. I thought they should have iced him before he took his first one.
Timeout called by Louisville. They've got 2 remaining. We'll be right back to the Rosemont Horizon.
All right, Gail Gardner in New York. We would just like to remind you that coming up right after the game, we will bring you live coverage of the senior skins. For a quick report, let's go to Hawaii and Brian Gumbel.
Gumbel looking forward to the senior skins game. Thank you, Brian Gumbel. 39 seconds remaining. It's all tied at 62, and when they put it back into play, Denny Crum, just calling the timeout, has 2 remaining. Trying to ice the free throw shooter, Stephen Howard, who just hit the front end of the bonus, the 1-and-1.
I would have iced him out right off the top. He still has 2 timeouts left. He had 3 at that time.
Blue Demons, though, have the right man. Been in critical situations at the free throw line before this year. In the final 2 minutes of play this season, Howard is at 18 of 19 at the free throw line. Let's go to David Dupree once again.
What Denny Crum wants to do is get the ball to Jerome Harmon, try to get a shot, try to get the point. If they don't score and they are behind after that possession, he wants them to foul. He's going to use the word 20. He tells me, are you here 20? Foul. It's the only way we're going to get the ball back.
A 1-point Blue Demon lead. Thank you, David Dupree, with 39 seconds to go.
If Louisville scores, Depaul will call a timeout.
The producer for our contest today, John Filippelli. Our director, Andy Rosenberg. Special thanks to Elliot Cal for his great help. Our statistician.
I'd go to Smith. This is the guy I'd go to. Got away with a walk. Got away with another walk.
Exactly. Harmon is blocked by Booth. And a foul coming up.
1-and-1.
Frustration foul by Jerome Harmon after he was blocked by David Booth.
Oh, not a bad foul at that time because there's only 20 seconds left in the game. What David Booth wanted when he crosses his wrist, that means an intentional foul. That's 2 shots and the ball out and a new clock, a new shot clock. So the shot clock's out now. There's only 20 seconds left. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Don't forget the 3-point shot. So even if he makes both, Louisville can come down and go for the 3-pointer.
Cardinals 0-4 so far from 3-point range. Everett Sullivan into the contest for Jerome Harmon. Almost like a mini timeout, the way Booth has had to wait for this free throw. He's hit 76% of his attempts at the line so far this year. Drives it in for a 2-point lead.
How many total points now, Joel?
New career high of 35. There's 7 rebounds as well for David Booth.
Well, whatever he's done today, he'll do every day the rest of his life when he's going to play a ball game.
They don't need a three-pointer now with 17 seconds left.
I'd call a timeout. A good call. They had to call a timeout. Now they'll set up. 2-point spread. I say this time they go to L.A. They do not go to Harmon. And L.A. puts it up, and they'll then try to pound underneath, look for Spencer, one of the big guys, to put it back up.
I am a bit surprised, Al, over the last 6 to 7 minutes of the second half, that they have not looked to Felton Spencer more frequently, where they have a big advantage down low.
Well, what Felton was doing the last couple of minutes was playing a high post. He's going out to the foul line extended, and they're rubbing off on him. What happened, you got to give Joey Meyer and the Depaul team credit. They have cut the game off down low. If Louisville has an Achilles heel, they have a belly and albatross around their neck. It's their outside shooting.
The Depaul Blue Demons not gone into an overtime contest. Way back on the 12th of December, 87. A span of 77 straight contests. Checking with Joey Meyer and his huddle.
They will foul immediately after they shoot if Depaul gets a rebound. Immediately to stop the clock. Now 15 seconds is a lifetime, so they'll use the first 5 seconds to kind of set up. Watch for an alley-oop pass out of the gate.
Another update now with our sideline reporter David Dupree.
They're going to go to the same play they basically ran before, except this time they're going to go to Everett Stevens. If he doesn't have the shot, Coach Combs says be patient and get the ball inside. If they do score or they don't score, he wants them to move their feet on defense. Do not foul.
All right, David, thank you. So the last time they went to Harmon, who's on the bench now, they're going to set it up this time for Everett Sullivan.
I say this kid should take it himself. Clear out underneath. Nope. Get it back to him. How's the alley-oop I told you about?
They went to Smith. So well with the loose ball. David Booth has it. He is fouled by Everett Sullivan. And they begin to celebrate at the Rosemont Horizon with 4 seconds left.
An unbelievable potential upset here. It looks like it definitely is an upset. If he makes both foul shots, then it's curtains. It's all she wrote. Now, they should have fouled immediately Sowell rather than Booth. We have a doubt who to make MVP on Depaul.
Tough call. Chevrolet MVPs for today's game. The young man at the free throw line with a new career high of 35 points, David Booth. And for the Cardinals of Louisville, tough one. Go with Bradford Smith, L.A., who really kept him in it in the second half. Chevrolet is going to donate $1,000 to the School General Scholarship Fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and also to assist those in financial need. Booth puts them up by 4. Three-pointer off the mark, and upset of major proportions by Depaul. The Blue Demons win it at home over Louisville. The 4th-ranked Cardinals by 4. For Al McGuire, this is Joel Meyers. Thank you for joining us from Rosemont, Illinois. Up next, it's Senior Skins.
The world cheered as the major powers joined forces. Not those guys, these guys. It's not perestroika, it's ultimate Hulkamania.
Court of Syracuse playing extreme.